You know who is not one of my guests tonight? That's Texas State Representative James Tallarico. He was supposed to be here, but we were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast. Then I was told in some uncertain terms that not only could I not have him on, I could not mention me not having him on.
All right, the interview with the Senate candidate James Tallarico was posted on YouTube and has gotten more than 2 million views. I want to bring in NBC's Garrett Haake here for the latest. So, Garrett, how is CBS responding tonight? Because I know they've come out with their own statement.
Yeah, they put out a statement this afternoon, Tom, and said that The Late Show wasn't prohibited from doing this interview with James Tallarico, that they were merely given legal guidance, they say, that the broadcast could trigger what's called the equal time rule that would require the broadcast to then put on these other candidates. I don't know where the truth of this lies, Tom. I bet it'll come up on tonight's broadcast. But I do, if we think about it here, if NBC told you you couldn't interview me for this show, I don't know that we'd be able to use your set and my camera and lights to just turn around and put it online. So the truth is probably somewhere in the middle here.
But peel back the curtain a little for our viewers here on what the FCC calls the equal time rule, right? Which means a broadcast station must offer every political candidate in an election an opportunity to sort of appear on the air if they are featuring one. Daytime and late-night TV shows are exempt from this, but recently FCC Chairman Brendan Carr sent a letter warning of a possible change.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. And the late night and daytime talk shows have really only been considered exempt since 2006, for sure. That's when Jay Leno's segment kind of sparked this idea that they should be treated like news broadcasts and that their programs would be exempt as well. This letter from Brendan Carr that came out in late January said they're revisiting that finding. They don't think that that's necessarily the case, and they say specifically that a program that they find to be motivated by partisan purposes wouldn't be entitled to that exemption. We know that the Trump administration has viewed a lot of programming all across the media landscape, but particularly these late night shows as biased against Republicans. And so I think what you have here, or at least the way that Colbert describes it, is CBS looking at that letter, which talks about a future change and not wanting to trigger it by making this move to keep Tallarico off the TV version of The Late Show.
Yeah, and then I know that interview with Tallarico now getting millions of views. We mentioned that. Here's some of what he had to say on Colbert on the matter. Let's listen.
This is the party that ran against cancel culture, and now they're trying to control what we watch, what we say, what we read. And this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture, the kind that comes from the top.
That essentially just drew more attention to this interview, and people are obviously finding it online, and everyone has a phone in their hand these days.
Right. I mean, it's a classic example of the Streisand effect. The idea of saying, don't look at this thing makes people want to go look at that thing. The YouTube version of The Late Show got more viewers than the typical airing of The Late Show gets. On social media, this has been everywhere today, Tom, as you know, and it happens on the first day of early voting in Texas. So for the Tallarico campaign, it's a boon at exactly the right time in that primary campaign.
Yeah, a lot of people know his name tonight. All right, Garrett Haake, we thank you for that. We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.